as Jim sees it. Today has been amazing and nuts. Absolutely nuts. I want to say hello and I got to turn this thing on a little bit. Welcome to those of you that are new and returning viewers. Hey, what the heck? Did this thing break? Oh man. Oh, you didn't die on me, did you, Cobra? Man, I think she might be done. Uh-oh. Let's see. Is the lighting gone forever? The lighting. There it goes. Connect. I'm kind of glad there's no viewers yet. Algorithm. Computer. Put viewers on this channel. Make them subscribe. I just hope that I can keep bringing meaningful content to the viewers so they can continue to be entertained. And if they get inspired, to be inspired. Dude, I should tell that dude he's got like zero tread on the side of his tire. If he comes back again, I'm going to say something. Because that's fucking dangerous, especially driving around these mountains, man. One of them tires goes, he can right off the road into another dimension, not to return in this life. That would be no good for him. Well, I just want to welcome the viewer. Today has been an adventure. I left Flagstaff this morning about 8 o'clock and went to Sedona out of a suggestion by a woman I met in Flagstaff yesterday. We just talked real briefly. She's like, if you're visiting the Arizona area, you absolutely need to check out Sedona. So, as a result, I'm not sleeping well last night at all. I got up at like 6 and I hit the road. And she was right. The craziest things happened in Sedona. So I will start with today's walk before the Grand Canyon, the pre-walk. So I'm going to be walking down. The goal is to go down and up the South Rim in one shot. I trained for 4 months and went to the North Rim a couple days ago. And thanks for the like and thumbs up. Thumbs up for you too. Give you that dopamine splash. Anyhow, went to the North Rim, hiked 4 miles on that in 2 hours, and it was too dangerous to go down to where I was at. So I was like, all right, that's it. Now, from what I understand, the South Rim is a little more bearable. So, meaning the trail is a little wider. On the North Rim, there's like areas that are like this big you have to walk on. And you go and look that direction, it's all rock. You look that direction, and you're dead if you fall. So, I'm an adventurous man, and I'm a thrill seeker, but I'm not stupid. You know, wait a second, it depends who you ask and what day, and if it's a full moon or not. I've going, thank God, going on in here. The fuck going on? Oh, TF going on in here. Yeah, just talking about kind of the road trip I'm on. I'm doing the van life. This has to keep reconnecting. Went to Sedona. I started hiking. I ate breakfast or lunch. And I'm like, I'm gonna do just water on this trail. I'm plenty trained, ready to go. I start walking down the trail. And I'm feeling pretty good. I'm pretty excited. Everybody keeps saying TF, TF. So can you not hear me? Is that why? Is it not? Do I got to turn up the volume? Because I'm assuming. Oh, I see. TF means too friggin' awesome. That's what that means. Thank you. Appreciate that. Anyhow, I'm going down this trail in Sedona, and I'm making sure to pay attention in front of me, walking around, just blown away by just the mystic vision of it all, the reds, the greens, the canyons around me, everything, you know. And I learned from my mistake in Utah to one, mark your trail. Two, you are fabulous as well, Stephen Kent. Thank you. You fucking rock. If I'm fabulous, you fucking rock. Because I feel like that's better. I'm trying to one up. I'm that one up guy right now. I'm going to one up you with niceness. You are fabulous. You're alpha male. You are a fellow road warrior. All right. So I'm trying to be goofy. Anyhow, I'm super hungry, man, from that trip. So I walked back after about 2 hours, and I look at the mileage, it's like 2.5, and I'm like, that's not going to fly. 2.5 miles. I'm used to dragging sleds and throwing kettlebells up while I drag the sled. I can do that for a half hour straight if I want to, and it's a 35-pound sled, and I'm using a 30-pound kettlebell, throwing up walking cleans into a shoulder press, all that stuff. Like, there ain't no way that's a good enough time. So I rehydrate. I throw like glasses of 20 glasses of water, and then a 24-ounce glass of water mixed with Gatorade, because when I'm doing these hikes, instead of buying Gatorade, I buy one of these and then just fill it up as I go, because it's cheaper. That's like $8. That was a present, but normally I'm going to buy these rather than going to the store and paying $3.50 for something that's just sugar and salt. And then I went down the trail again, and I'm like, all right, here we go. So I can't remember the name of the trail. I'll have it on the shorts. I'm going to be putting it up tomorrow. I start walking down the trail. I start really just huffing and going. I'm noticing the orange, the red, and the trail kind of changes, gets thin. Then every once in a while they got these signs, right? Now, I'm not used to altitude. When you're in altitude, it plays tricks on your mind because you're used to a certain level of oxygen in your blood. And I'm walking, and the sign shows it was like Maverick's Trail, right? So Maverick's Trail had 2 points. It had an end point and a beginning point. Where my car was parked was the beginning point. It's like 5 miles from my car, way uphill. Banyan is the end of it, and then they have all these little tiny trails in between it, right? So I pick out the hardest trail, go down it, come back. I'm back on it again, and I get to that point, and I look, and like about 10 minutes before this, it hits me out of nowhere. I'm like, man, I'm like, everything just looks so weird. I'm like, do I got fucking heat stroke? And I'm like, no. I felt kind of confused, you know, and I'm like, no, I don't have heat stroke. It's because I haven't eaten today. I know I drank enough water, and I'm not used to the heat and the high altitude. So I'm like, should I turn back around? I'm like, nah, don't be a punk. I'm like, just keep marking your trail as you go. And I'm on the trail that's got signs. So I look at the sign, and it says, turn left to go. You are here. Turn left this way. That's to my left right now. To go back to the parking lot, it's 0.7 miles. This way goes to the end of the trail of the same name of the trail, right? Now, what happened was, that was on the sign. The trail itself was quarter turned. with the sign on it. So the one above it, so I look at that, and then I'm so exhausted from the heat and being in the high altitude, I look at the sign, and it says, go that way, and I registered it, oh, that way is left. So I kept walking. And what I should have done was turned around because it was turned and gone backwards. So I'm walking. And I'm walking, and bikers go past me, and I'm like, all right, I'm good. It's mountain bikers, which I'm going to try that next. That looks fun. Not in the next 2 months. That's going to be down the road. But next 2 months, just going to be hiking. So I'm driving, or I'm walking. Bikers go by again. I'm like, all right, I'm in a safe place. I notice I can't hear any cars, and I'm like, that means you're in deep. And my Gatorade is now half full. And I'm like, all right, start slowing down on this. I'm starting to sweat. Now, it's dry heat in Arizona. You shouldn't be pouring sweat like you're in Ohio. I'm dripping sweat. I'm like, man, I'm really, really, really tired. I'm really tired. I'm really going. And then I look up and I see the canyon, and I'm like, oh, this is so gorgeous. Man, I can't believe how good my life is. And I'm walking, and I'm like, I'm starting to get a little sore in my legs. I'm like, man, this is definitely seems like more than 0.7 of a mile. So I'm looking at the trail, and I'm noticing now there's only 4 bike tracks, and the trail's this big. And I'm like, did I screw? Was I not paying attention? And I turned on a bike trail that's off the regular trail that doesn't have the signs as you go. And I'm like, man, just keep walking, keep your head down, keep forward, and keep walking. And now my Gatorade's a quarter down, and it's warm, it's hot. And I'm like, why is my Gatorade hot all of a sudden? So now I'm getting a little worried, right? And then I look in the road, and there's a bunch of poop there, not human either. I mean, it was some sort of fucking animal, and it wasn't deer poop either, man. It was something bigger for sure. And I'm like, that is definitely not good. Something was on this trail, but the only thing that made me feel secure, I didn't see any flies around. I'm like, well, if it was fresh, there'd probably be flies around. So I kept walking, and there is mountain lions out here where I'm at. I keep walking. I'm like, son of a bitch. Now I'm getting pissed because I feel like I'm lost. I'm like, okay, one of these signs will be coming up. I'm walking, no sign. Walking, no sign. Then I'm like, I don't recognize this area at all. I know that if I had went back down the original trail, I'd recognize this area. By the way, I want to thank those of you that have stuck with me. Go ahead and give me a subscribe and a like. Unless you don't like it, don't subscribe. So I'm going down. I look to my left. There's a bunch of barbed wire, and I'm like, son of a bitch. I know I didn't see any barbed wire fencing when I was, and I'm like, turn around right now. So I turn around, and I go, man. I go as fast as I can out of there, and I'm like, I just keep thinking about Little Caesar's Pizza, because I would pizza. I wanted to eat some pizza, And now, I'm thinking about food, because my body is I hadn't eaten all day, and I'm going. And one of the bikers comes by, and I'm like, okay. And now I got cocky on the trail, and I stopped marking when I was going. Now, this is to show you the trick that the desert will play on you because of the colors and the heat and the high altitude. I looked down at one of the arrows that I had wrote in the dirt earlier that day when I did my first, and I went right past it. I'm like, why did I write that thing backwards? Why would I think that? I didn't fucking write that thing backwards, man. I wasn't thinking straight. I was confused. And I kept going, you know what I mean? And I'm like, there's that arrow, follow that arrow. And I just kept going. I get to the end of the trail. This lady and her husband and her 3 kids are walk. She's like, sir, are you okay? And I'm like, I've been hiking out here for 4 hours. I'm fine. You know what I mean? All I'm thinking about is Little Caesars. And then I see my car and I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord. So I stop right before my car. I sit down. I collapsed on the seat and just drank a bunch of water, called my buddy Jim, and that's what happened in Sedona today. So I almost got lost in the Kansas, which would have absolutely sucked. So if you decide to go hiking, don't be an egomaniac and eat first. And like go for like an hour and then turn back around no matter what. No matter what you think, because it's so easy to get lost out there, man. Crazy. All right, enough about me. I see somebody still watching. How was your day? Tell me about your day. I want to listen. Text and listen. Oh, we got 9 people now. All right, so I don't know if all of you tuned into the story. I don't feel like telling it again because it was like a 17-minute long story. I'm on here every night, but every night, like I always try to do something to like get to know the audience. So, like, where are you from? What's your favorite food? And why is it your favorite food? Like, somebody or whoever, go ahead and start. I'll tell you where I'm from. I'm originally from planet Earth. My favorite food is pizza. I think my favorite pizza is 5-star down in Florida. It's in Ormond Beach. It's by far, and Flagler Pizza in Ormond Beach. Those are my 2 favorite pizzas. All right, somebody else go. Let's hear it. Let's see. Come on. Bow, bow, bow. Should we do the Jeopardy music? Anybody? All right. Well, one of the tips and tricks if you're doing the van life, if you end up getting stinky hogs, and when I say stinky hogs, your feet can get ripe sometimes, especially when you're hiking all day. So one of the tips and tricks, if you're doing a van life or doing the bus life, to not having stinky sneakers smell up your place, if that's an issue with you, because I ain't gonna lie, my hogs can get stinky. This is a trick. A couple of them. 1, take zinc. 2, put fabric softener shoes when you go, and when you get out and when you're done hiking and you take your shoes off, put a brand new thing of fabric softener, the little downy things inside your shoes, and it'll make them smell good. So you don't got to worry about your shoes stinking bad. Right now it's dinner time for me. I usually eat late at night. I'll tell you what, you know what's insane right now? Is food prices. Like, I went to a gas station, and I'm looking, a 4-ounce bag of chips, and I don't want to say the brands because I still love the brands. They taste good, but I don't buy them anymore because it's $2.50. And it's like 4 ounces of carbohydrate and cholesterol and fat for $2.50. I mean, if I want that, all I got to do is take a teaspoon of butter, lick it, teaspoon of sugar, lick it, and I'm good. That's it. And it's cheap. So, anyhow, tonight I went to Walmart. I got some hummus again, some everything hummus. I got the French baguette bread for $1. They cut up the loaves fresh, and I do that. It's amazing. If you're hummus in the everything Walmart, life. These little morsels. One, this is like, I'm addicted to these. They're 88 cents, 2.6 ounces of tuna, and it's the spicy Thai chili. If you eat like 4 of these 2 times a week, you're going to get all the protein, nutrition that you need from them. Actually, you can have 2 11-ounce servings per week and not get mercury poisoning from this type of tuna. What's better, though, at Walmart is the ahi tunas. Those are really good. You can get those for like, I mean, if you go to, I don't know if Aldi's is in Arizona, but they have Aldi's. You can get them for like a family pack of like 4 of them for $5. And the ahi tuna, man, that stuff is to die for. You can eat it raw. But these things, I don't know if you are a fan of SpaghettiOs with meatballs, but these right here, they're $3.19 at Walmart. They do not have these in Ohio. They have them in Arizona, and they have them in, where did I first eat these when I was traveling recently? I want to say Iowa. At the Walmarts, these taste exactly like the meatballs that come in the spaghetti and meatballs. SpaghettiOs with meatballs. I'm exhausted. So these things right here are the absolute best. It's 11 ounces. It's made with chicken and beef. I eat them right out of the bag. $3.12. I mean, it's like a pound of food for $3.12. There's no MSG in them. It's gluten free too. I mean, it's so good. All you got to do is, I don't even heat them up. But I will say this: if you eat the whole bag, it is 1,020 milligrams of sodium. But I mean, I'm hiking all day, so it's not like the electrolytes ain't gonna screw me up. And I drink a lot of water. Let's see here: saturated fat, trans fat. Oh, so it's going to be loaded with monounsaturated fats too, which is really good. It's 12 grams of protein per bag. It's 24 grams of protein. So I was going to try to hork that down. The tuna fish, 2 bags of tuna fish, and this whole thing of hummus tonight, but that's not happening. I think the only thing that I'm going to be able to hork down is this whole thing of hummus. That's where I'm going to get a lot of my carbs and my fat from for the hike, trying to carb load and do the Grand Canyon by South Rim by next. Tomorrow, I'm going to do some sled work. I'm doing exercises. I have that in my shorts feed if you want to go check that out. One of the things I am going to start uploading in the next 2 months is how to live the van life. Especially if it's small, or even like Transit Connect, like you got to twist and move, and you got to be limber. So I'm gonna like put a bunch of stuff, pick things up from weird angles on the channel for free, routines that people can do for free. All you need is like a 20. And if you want to do the extra work and get a sled, it's only going to make your life that much better. And also, I'm going to show a bunch of yoga exercises and yogic stretches that I do 3 to 5 times per week that help with like, day-to-day functioning. I mean, I'm 44 years old and I'm still able to like I said, I've been here for 4 days, I think, in Arizona, and like I went hiked 6 miles in like 3 hours and 45 minutes. And that was like the first 2 hours I was farting around, man. I was picking up rocks and looking at them and kind of going slow. I wasn't really moving. So, I mean, I'm in pretty good shape, like for sure. And like when I go to the Planet Fitnesses, like I love it. I have to be the guy who has to avoid not being in the lunk. Because one of the stupidest things that I've ever seen in my life is when they're like, oh, you can't drop the weights. Oh, you can't breathe heavy. Oh, you can't make noises. It's like, sometimes like I'm so exhausted after I lift a bunch of heavy weight. I'm like, get the testosterone. Woo! It's like, so what if I want to scream in the middle of the gym? Fuck off. No, I've never done that. I've never said that. But like, I have to focus on not like being intense in a Planet Fitness because it draws attention. Because like a lot of the guys who can't go to like a lot of the guys like that don't train that way or that at that type of intensity, they a lot of times they go to Planet Fitness because of the environment. It's like a chill environment, and it's it's very bubblegum. When I say bubblegum, they got really cool, good pop music playing all the time, and everybody's kind of chumming it up, having a good time. But I gotta like stay low key because I'll fucking dude, I'll go work out outside, drag a sled with a 30-pound kettlebell in each hand, for an hour straight, nonstop, doing exercises like puking and then getting back up and finishing out, make sure I get my hour in, So that's just how I train. That's how I learned. I mean, I learned from a gym. That was how all the guys were that I trained with when I was younger. That evolve. We evolved, baby. Our way was hard. I miss them days. But I'll tell you, one thing I never stopped doing is I never stopped training. And to put it so, I could do this adventure of going up and down the Grand Canyon, traveling the United States, and being confident with where I go and not having to worry too much. So, I'll tell you what, that is about it for me for the night. I've heard enough of myself. I can only take like 27 minutes it's at right now. I can only take about a half hour before my brain goes to mush. I wish we could all have better dialogue in the comments, whatever, because I love that part about the live feed. It's one of my favorite things. Like, it's kind of like you connect with people, because I ain't gonna lie, it gets lonely on the road sometimes. You just want to talk with people, but you know, it's kind of weird too, because when you come into a town like any town in Arizona, there's a lot of transients and there's a lot of people who are homeless. And like, I mean, I'm not homeless, but I'm not, doing the norm. So like, if you just start talking to people sometimes and you're like talking real fast in Arizona, they think you're one of the tweakers that's living on the streets. So you got to be like, it's that's why I love this live feed. I try to do it every day, between 10 and 10 and 11 at night, definitely 5 days a week. It'll always be about what's going on with the adventures. If some crazy story happens, I'll put it up here. If not, whatever. But yeah, I just want to thank everybody for watching. High five. Stay tuned, Road Warriors. I'll see you soon. Later.